Hello and what is up everyone, it is Hachi from the Art of Dota and I have some news for you guys regarding the new ranked season. Season 2 just came out around 2 days ago and people were not happy about it. There were people losing 700, 600 to even 1,000 MMR or more, and it just seemed like the calibration system was just broken. Like there was just too much weight on certain games depending on what Valve decided the fairness of the game was, and we had top 20 players in NA going down to 6k, low 6k. Like they lost thousands of MMR and like their top ranking. And that, I mean, just that didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to a lot of people who complained about it enough that Valve realized, okay, there's something wrong here, and they decided to make this change. So as of June 8th, they released this update, and from their words, I have it on the website here, they say that in the first 30 hours since recalibration, the matchmaker was overly sensitive on wins and losses, and it resulted in players calibrating with bigger gains and losses than intended. Now, you can say it's actually what they intended, because they definitely, like, they ran test code and they tested this beforehand, right? So they knew that people had the potential of gaining and losing thousands of MMR potentially. Unless, I mean, actually you never know with Valve. They might not have tested it thoroughly enough. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they tested it and they knew that there was the potential to lose that much MMR, and they thought that was okay, I think. I think the thing is they thought it was okay, and they didn't realize that it's not okay, because, you know, these are programmers, they're game developers, they don't play Dota. They don't realize that it's not okay that someone loses 1,000 MMR just for playing 10 games. So then after the backlash from the community, they kind of went backwards. Of course, they're not going to make everyone play their calibration games again. That would just result in more backlash. They're just going to process all of the calibration matches you played and correct the rank in terms of the gains and losses. So I'll tell you what this actually means moving on later in the video. But right now they say medals will be unidentified for a bit during this process, and as I am recording this video and uploading it, the process is still going. So you'll see that I don't have my badge yet. Or I do have my badge, but I don't have my rank number yet. And for you guys, it's probably going to be the same. But there are some people that do have their badge. So again, it's actually happening pretty slow, because I think this is a big process. They literally have to go through everyone, look at their 10 games, give them a new MMR, and then process that, change their badge, change their number, etc. So it's actually, this is a lot of people on Valve are probably working on this right now, and they're trying to get this through, because that's a lot. That's a lot to do, actually. It's just, you know, thousands, millions. I don't know how many players have calibrated at this point, but they have some work cut out for them. Now, moving onward, let's go into Dota. I'll show you my rank change real quick. So for me, oh, I'm rank 9. Nice! So it did update. So literally before I pressed record on this video, I didn't have my number. But now I have my number. I'm rank 9 in North America. And I'll show you what MMR it is. So that is 7.3k MMR. Now this is after the reset, or the recalibration, or whatever you want to call it, right? So before, I'll just tell you, my old MMR was 7k, like 7k flat pretty much, just a little bit above 7k. And then after I played my 10 calibration games, which I went 6 and 4 in, by the way, I lost actually around like 100 MMR. I dropped down to 6.87. And then I did play like a lot of games after I calibrated already, and I gained around 200 MMR. Actually, not that much. I gained like 150. I gained 150 MMR after my recalibration. So after the reset that happened today, that pushed me up to 7.325. which I feel like is pretty fair, because my friend, who also was pretty much the same exact MMR as me, he was also 7K. He went 6-4 as well. He dropped down to 6.9K. And then he didn't play any games after, I'm pretty sure. He might have played a couple, but I don't think he gained 100 MMR since then. And he is now 7.05. So, what actually happened, right? Why did I gain MMR? So, I think what Valve did was they changed the multiplier on how much MMR you gain or lose during your calibration games. So for the people that had huge gains during calibration, people that gained like 700 MMR, it's going to be cut down significantly. Now, if your MMR didn't change too much during calibration, don't expect it to change much after today's reset. Like, you might, lose or gain 100 or 50 or something like that, but it's not going to be too significant. But if you're one of those people that literally gained 700 MMR, you're going to get cut down. And we might complain about that, but in all honesty, do you think you deserved, after playing 10 games, to just jump up by 700 1,000 MMR? You're probably putting yourself in a bracket that is just going to result in you just getting dumpstered, and you lose all that MMR anyway, unless you just never play ranked again. But some people might be salty about that. But for the people that lost MMR, so if you're one of those people that lost 1,000 MMR, you're gonna get saved, because just from talking to people on my friends list, people that went from like top 300 Divine to now Divine 5 after the new update, or Divine 4 even lower, or people that went from like Divine to Ancient, they're getting saved. They're still losing MMR, but you're not going to lose as much. So let's say you lost 700 MMR, it's going to be cut to like 300. Now, they're going to go through each game individually, so the results may vary. I can't say like, okay, this guy gained 700, and after their calibration, it's going to just get cut down to only gaining 300, right? Every person is going to be different. So, yeah, I already mentioned, between me and my friend, we had very similar records during our calibration. We had very similar MMR, but I ended up with 7.3, and he ended up with 7.05. But keep in mind, I did gain some MMR since my calibration, and I don't think he played too much. So, I think it's okay that I'm a little bit higher than him, because again, I did, rightfully try to gain my MMR back, and I think he just was pretty angry about the calibration, so he didn't play too much. So, this is all this patch is. You guys that did get your MMRs ruined, go back in the game, don't reinstall the game if you uninstalled, and check your MMR now and see what Valve has done to it. I think this is the best thing they could have did. Of course, they could have just came up with a better system in the first place, but hindsight's 2020. This is what I would figure they would do as well, because I think Cinderin made a post about what potential fixes to Valve's great breaking of the recalibration. And he said that they either can just recalibrate everyone, but this time have like more games be played, or they can just kind of fudge the numbers a little bit and just like, again, reprocess your calibration games. And that's what they decided to do, because I think making everyone play calibration games again, and if not making everyone play even more calibration games, would piss off a lot of people. And I think this is probably the best thing they could have done. What do you guys think about it? At least for me, I'm happy at least, because I gain MMR. But for the people that like lost MMR because they had huge gains, you probably still gained MMR in terms of like your overall gain, right? Like comparing to your old MMR. So I don't think you're gonna be that salty unless you're planning on just like sitting there with your super high rank and never playing ranked again. Because again, for the people that jumped up by literally 1,000 MMR, You gotta ask yourself, did you really deserve that, or did you just get lucky? And for the people that lost a lot of MMR, you might still have lost some. Because again, if you're jumping down by like 700, you probably did pretty poorly in your calibration game. So you're still not going to gain MMR like I did. Because I lost MMR. I think my situation is unique. Because I lost MMR during my calibration. But I went positive within my calibration games. And then after this reset, I gained MMR. But I also played some games and gained MMR after my calibration. So I don't know. Things are weird with what happened with my situation. And again, it's going to be different for everyone, and they're still trying to figure everything out. So let me know in the comments down below if this is a proper fix to what Valve did. And I'll see you all in the next video. And I'm also going to be casting right now, actually. Literally right now. Optic versus VP. I'll see you all in the next video. And I'll see you all if you want to watch my live stream. Peace out, everyone.